welcome back again, bruh. Hey, it's been a while. But we're back. Welcome to Football with Cal. Who do we have here today, Moo? Hey, man, introduce yourself, bruh. You smiling over
Yes,
there and
sir.
shit. Yeah.
Hey, I'm the top nigga.
Ooh.
He, in the building.
Okay.
Top nigga walked in.
Okay.
Feel me? I'm active. I'm here.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm finna enlighten y'all on my ball knowledge for real. Let
Uh.
y'all know. Uh, well, I know. I'm gonna get y'all hit.
And what do you know?
You already know.
I know a lot, man. I'm a man of many talents, but
Okay.
football is just one of them. You know what I mean? If you know, you know.
That's the thing
Yeah.
that we all don't do,
We all
but
know
we're
now,
gonna
bro.
keep it
We
like
all
Hey,
know
that.
now. Yeah.
well,
You don't
they'll
know.
know soon. They'll know soon. Let's just put it at
Don't know.
that.
Okay. I bet.
I like
They'll
that.
know
You already
soon.
know who it is. You already know who it is. Your boy JB, aka John B. For me, we here to talk again about football. I'm just here to counter whatever Moon got to say.
Oh,
So
damn.
it
Arsenal
is.
versus Chelsea.
This
Okay.
is my biggest hater, bro. I swear this man is my biggest
I
hater.
don't hate you, Brad. It's all love. You know what I mean? It's all love.
All right,
All
man.
right.
Boys, let's get into it, man. A lot has happened over, the past couple weeks. International break, but club football is back. But, we got to do a little recap of what happened. It's a lot. There's a lot that happened over international duty. But the main focus probably about the Nations League, because let's be honest, like, yeah, there was qualification games going on in other continents and stuff. But the major happenings were the Nations League. But let's touch on that competition itself though. Like, what do you guys think about that competition itself? Like, generally, like, do you think it's like necessary to play it during international breaks? Like, what do you think?
I mean, this is my thing, right? A lot of the players are complaining. So they're complaining about I don't know if y'all agree with me on this, but now I understand that they're complaining saying that there's a lot of games, that blah blah blah, there's too many games, the managers, but this is my thing, right? You're getting paid to play a sport where you make millions of dollars. That's like a lot of kids' dreams. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, I understand, injuries are a thing, whatever, but at the same time, the thing you're complaining about playing too many games, like why are you complaining? You're getting paid millions of dollars. You're getting a check almost every game.
Sorry. What? Hold on, Mustafa. I can't agree with that because one, you got to put your health before anything, right? I don't care how
Yeah.
much money you make. At the end of the day, if you go out and then blow up your knee and then you can't walk properly for the rest of your life, all that money that you made does not mean nothing. Let's keep it a stack. And two, those players got lives other than like I'm not saying like okay this is your job, I understand that, but like there's also other factors to it. If something happens to a player, it doesn't just happen just to him, it happens to like the families and everybody else around them. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day they have a right to say like their body's not a machine. You know what I mean? I don't care about how much. If that's the case, then you guys can lower the money. You know what I'm saying? Lower the money or whatever it is. Like they're gonna be like, oh, it's all about the money. No, it's not always all about the money. Like those players got lives outside of this shit too. So yes,
Yeah.
it's very like you know what I'm saying. It's a weird what's it called? It's a weird what's the word I'm looking for? It's a weird like explanation whatever. But like at the same time
Yeah.
like that's they also have to look out for themselves too because like if I'm playing soccer and like I know if I play a certain amount of games I'm gonna get hurt. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna try and look out for myself so I don't get hurt. 'Cause at the end of the day, bro, my health is what's more important.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, honestly, you're right. You're right. That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean,
That makes.
it's both of y'all making sense. It's kind of 50-50, like
It is
you want to take
50-50.
care of
I'm gonna
yourself,
give you two.
but it also is your job, so you kind of like like you can't complain because you're paid to do it. But also, let's also look at it like if you're getting paid to do it, doesn't mean they got to overkill the players. Because what happens if all those
Yeah.
players are getting injured? Then it's like, who are we gonna be watching? They're gonna have to fill the second team most of the time, and it's like. But I mean, me personally, I just feel like it's an extra competition that's not really needed because the whole premise was to give smaller teams a chance to qualify to the Euro tournaments through that. Basically, if you win it, you get a straight qualification. So for the smaller countries, but the last
Yeah.
three editions, it's been won by what? Portugal, France, and Spain. Like those are big teams, and those guys are
Yeah.
always going to qualify for the tournament regardless. So I just feel like
Right.
it's kind of like a money grabbing like tournament, but at the same time is is a hit on the players' health, and also they're paid to do it, because they getting paid to play that tournament. So it's not like they play for free. So it's kind of 50-50, but it's not a competition that people wouldn't be mad if they get rid of it, because I don't really think personally it adds anything to the smaller teams. It rather like gives the competition, organizes money, and then that's all it is. But we saw some good games. Spain versus Netherlands. We saw Portugal versus Denmark. We saw France versus Croatia. There was some interesting games. I'm not gonna lie. This Even though I hate international games, there were some games that I enjoyed. I was like, okay, two legs back to back and all that. But
Yeah.
let's talk about a country that was not in the Nations League. They're out. England. All right. New coach, and as you know, Mumu, you're a Chelsea fan yourself, so you're a former coach, Mr. Tuchel.
Yep.
Yeah, he's taking over the national team. And what do you think? Like, what do you think about him and the national team, Mumu?
Oh man, I think it's a match made in heaven. I think England needed a manager that has that like how do you say it? I feel like that
With a mentality.
with a mentality. Yeah, they're like you know like someone that had a personality. They lacked a manager that didn't really have that personality
The
that like I you would
cojones.
say, huh?
The cojones.
Yeah, balls. That would I would say like would challenge, people like challenge people, players essentially, someone that's not afraid to drop the big names,
Mm,
and I know Tuchel will come in, he will play the best 11 that is catered towards his football that he wants
mm-hmm,
and will help. I guess England bring back a trophy, and not to mention, I mean England. Tuchel's really good at these knockout
mm-hmm,
like tournaments. This tournament style it's suited for him. You know, so I think I think England fans, essentially anyone who supports England should be excited. I think and for me, they are my favorites to come out the next World Cup.
mm,
I think, and I would say they're always favorites. They right now they have their golden generation. Um, I think they're favorites just because the amount of talent wise that they have at each position. They have about like two or three guys that can play at a high level. I mean, and not to mention you have a top three striker in the world with Harry Kane. You have, I mean, Jude Bellingham. You have the guys the likes of Saka, Palmer, in his attack. I mean,
yeah,
Gordon could be excellent. His defense, defense you have. I mean, if Reece James can stay healthy, that would be great for him. Tuchel. I mean, it's a lot of players you can name.
yeah.
So yeah,
I
I
mean,
quite
me first.
realized you were mentioning the top players on the England national team. You left your name out. I didn't hear Foden in there. All right,
no,
so
of course Foden too. No,
yeah,
no,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Foden, Rashford. There's so much. That's what I mean.
Okay,
Like
okay,
there's
okay.
so much.
But I want to ask
There's
John
so much.
though, because there's been like a mixed feelings about Tuchel's appointment. Some of them are happy.
Right.
They want to see a coach with balls and who's not scared to make the tougher decisions of dropping players. And we're gonna come down to the dropping the players part. But I've seen some pundits talk about, oh, he shouldn't have the job because he's not English, and they gotta have the culture of like building English coaches to win them at tournaments because they've seen Del Bosque win it with Spain. They've seen Scaloni win it with Argentina. Like countries that
Yeah.
of like like what's his name, this Dunga, and then like win it with Brazil in '94 and all of that. So what do you think about coaches coaching national teams that they're not from? Like they're not originally from there, but they taking it as a job. Do you think they'll have the same passion as like a compared to like a coach that's from the
Hon-
country? Or
Honestly, and this is just me speaking from my own experience. A
mm-hmm,
job is a job. I don't care what you tell me. A job is a job, right? And he's getting paid to do it. He's not. It's not. If it was like volunteering, it's different. But it's a job. You know what I'm saying? And they offered him a job, and he accepted it. So I don't think there's anything wrong with a German coaching England. Obviously he's lived in the country. You know what I mean? He's also coached in the country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like he's a top quality coach. It's not like just one of those like coaches you just get off the street or whatever. Like he's a top quality coach. He's won titles. He's proven that he can win. So if England wants an English manager, then they should go get that. I don't think there's anything. There's no problem. But the FA wanted that coach. You know what I mean? The England managers doesn't really work. So if he's gonna come in and they want to try something new, I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Yeah.
Like me personally, I don't have any problem with it. I'm not English, but I don't have any problem with it. And two, Tuchel, I feel like he's probably the only. I'm not gonna say only, but like he's probably like one of the top candidates that can really do that role.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because one, he has the experience. Two, he has the ability to coach like good players. Because what's the name? Southgate didn't have that. And three, he has a play style.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
And
I
four,
agree.
he's also really good at like Mumu said, the knockout stages,
Yeah.
which is those competitions. That's mainly what the business end is. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's the knockout. You know what I mean? So at least like give him a try. Like I don't think there's anything wrong with him coaching because he's German. Like that doesn't mean anything, bro. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
that's just me though.
I agree, and the fact that he coached the English team in Chelsea, bro. Apart from Jude in the national team, set up like the usual starting 11. Most of the players played in England, and they all play similar style. Like football
Yeah.
now, most teams try to play similar style. Building up from the back and all of
Right.
that. So I just feel like he's best suited because if he's come to England, won a Champions League with an English team, with like a similar setup to all those English like players, how they play in their respective
Right.
clubs, I think it's a perfect fit. Like he knows them, he knows those players too. Because mind you, he's either coached them or coached against those guys, so he knows a lot about them.
Right.
So I think it's a perfect fit, like you guys are saying. But talking about perfect fits, right? It's always a problem trying to fit players if you have a lot of superstars into a team to make it functionable. There's always an argument.
So I see.
Do you play your best players or do you play your best team? So
So
this is a quick question, right?
yeah.
Foden is usually one of like the names that get put out there because you look at his talent. He has a world class talent, right? He's been consistent for so many years,
Definitely.
but the past Euros and this season's form has got people having doubts. Like, do you think Foden should still be in the national team, like starting 11? And if he should, how would you set up if you were Tuchel in the front line, just the front line, like which is the
I
Okay.
mean, I
and the top?
Yeah.
I personally think that obviously they always pick players based on form for the most part, right? I'm not saying he's not supposed to be in the team. He's talented to be in the team. You know what I'm saying? He's one of like the best like wingers or cams that England has. But as of right now, I don't think he should be starting. That's one for sure. Because like his form is not really great. You know what I mean? That's just me personally. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think he should be starting. But I do believe that he's quality enough to be on the bench and like come in as an impact player. Because you never know. Sometimes that he could spark up a game or whatever. You know what I mean? But like to start as of right now, and I think there are players that are doing better than him right now
Yeah,
that deserves a shot.
I
That's
agree.
what I believe in.
I agree. What
Yeah,
about
I
you?
think I agree with John. I don't think, and I know in Tuchel the profile that he likes. I think he's gonna favor more towards the guy the likes of Rashford and Gordon, like on the left wing, and Foden most likely is gonna have to play on the right. I don't think you can play Foden on the left. I don't think it, I know he can play on the left, but I think he probably want a more like right-footed winger on the left side
Mm-hmm.
to play the left wing, and then it's either two positions Foden play, either the 10 or right wing. And then why would I play him right wing if Saka is healthy?
Exactly. It's like
Right.
Saka's a given on the right. No one takes Saka's spot.
Exactly.
The
No one's
top is
taking his
Kane.
spot.
The question is the left and the cam. But the real
They
question
can,
is,
right?
are you gonna play
And
Jude in
then
the 10 or in the midfield with Declan Rice?
I think um I think that that's a big decision, right? Because there's two that 10, it all depends on what he wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, as of right now, I think the best solution for him to do is Bellingham to play the eight, Declan Rice to play the box the six,
Mm-hmm.
and then either between Foden or Palmer to play the 10. and I don't know what decision he'll take from there. I really don't
Right.
know.
Or maybe he's
That's
gonna
a
play double tens, go with a three back. You know, we've seen him play those two
no. Knowing
styles. So
Tuchel, knowing Tuchel, I think he's best. He is very good with the three in the back. I think that's his suited football. He did well with Chelsea in that aspect, so we might see a three in the back as well.
mm, okay.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Perfect. All
Yeah.
right. Let's
So we don't know. There's so many options.
yeah.
And if he plays a three in the back, this is the thing. If he plays a three in the back, well, you know who are going to be the wing backs. He'll probably have Reece James and if he's healthy, if
mm,
he's healthy,
that's a big
Reece
that's
James,
a
and
big
then
if,
left.
but yeah.
That's a big if. You're right. And probably on the left side, Miles Lewis Skelly. Those are probably going to be
Right.
the undisputed wing backs.
Yeah.
With in the midfield, you're going to have Bellingham and Rice with as the two holdings or box to box with what's it called um the front three, he's gonna probably Harry Kane,
Mm.
um, Rashford. I think he's gonna be big on Rashford. Watch, people are gonna you're
Yeah.
gonna see.
He's been like
Yeah, I can see that.
he's been saying
Yeah,
he likes Rashford. Even when he was at Chelsea, he was bigging him up like every time. So, and as soon
yeah.
as he comes in, boom, brings him in. Yeah. I think England is best suited if they play wingers instead of like you know technical attacking mids like Rashford, because Kane likes to come deep, receive the ball. If he's coming deep, receiving the
Right.
ball, runs in behind from Saka or Rashford, I think that's gonna be best suited for them. But let's move on from England. Another team that when it comes to talent, they're blessed with talent. Like I don't know why I'm smiling, but I mean, some may argue that they don't have a good team, but it's Portugal. Like let's be honest,
Oh
pound for
my
pound,
God, man,
talent for talent, they're top three in the world. I mean, who would you put ahead of them? Maybe France, maybe England. That's it.
Spain.
I would even put Spain above them in terms of like pure talent over the last couple years. Spain
Actually,
started
right.
picking up maybe like 2022 ish again, but they definitely top four. Spain, England, France, Portugal, Spain. However you want to arrange them. But
Right.
the real question, and before I say this, everybody knows I'm a Messi fan. All right, so it's gonna come off some way if I ask this question. Do you think Portugal is better off without Ronaldo?
Hey, listen, bro. Me personally, I'm gonna tell Ronaldo, hey, cut it out. You're unk, bro.
Cut it out.
Hop on the bench.
This guy.
Hop on. Cut it out. You know what I'm saying? Hop on the coach of the young fellas. Do your thing, bro. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we done with you, bro. We trying to win, bro. Whether you like it or not, you're good. You're still good, but like you can ride the bench, bro. You know what I'm saying? We need to maximize the full out like attacking potential of this team, and he literally limits them, bro. It's annoying, bro. Rafael Leao is, bro. I feel like Leao doesn't try because he's like, bro, what the hell am I supposed to do?
But do you think?
Listen, I'm not gonna say
Uh,
kick him out of the team because that's so unfair. Been he's been in worse teams too. Let's keep it a stack. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Now the team is a lot better, but he's
Mm-hmm.
been in worse teams and he's carried. So you gotta give him that respect. But in terms of the way the team plays, I do agree sometimes, like I'm not sometimes, a lot of the times that he doesn't really offer much per se. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't really defend. You know what I'm saying? Like he doesn't really create goals like that, like how he used to be. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I won't say he's not a threat. He's still a threat. Obviously, it's Ronaldo, but like he doesn't do what he used to do before, which is like carry the ball around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Run, beat two, three players, and like go for a shot. Or like you know what I'm saying? He's not as dangerous as he used to be before. We all know that because obviously he's older. But I do think that he should be in the squad. I don't think that he probably should start it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, depends on like the strikers that they have. I feel like they should try and you know what I'm saying implement some of the younger players. You know what I'm saying? Some of the more hungrier players. But I think he should be at least in the squad. Coming off the bench or sometimes starting. I'm not saying like he should just be a bench player, but they have to have that balance and rotation depending on the teams because you're not gonna go to a team like a big club like France or whatever that you need a striker to press.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Or like you need someone to like get the ball and you just see Ronaldo just standing there just watching you out defend. Like it's not gonna be possible. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, they gotta find that balance. of like, okay, like he's still important to the team, which I do believe he is, because he still scores goals. But at the same time, like they have to have that balance. Like, okay, like some games we're gonna have to drop you, and some games you're gonna have to play. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? But like, because also he's also a leader, whether you like it or not. He doesn't want to lose, so it's also good to have that character in like the dressing room.
dressing room.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, man. I mean, I do feel bad for him sometimes though, because
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, I
but
agree. It's like, cause like, of course, as a Messi fan, I always want that guy to struggle. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna hide my badge, bro. Everybody knows. But that's me being subjective, though. But if I gotta be objective and look at it and be honest, truthfully, like yeah, he's done great things for Portugal, like in the past. You know what I'm saying? He's had bad teams where he's done good, and he has good teams where they all haven't done good. Let me put it that way. But I just feel like, first of all, it's kind of so hard to replace a figure in that team, taking him out, and like
mm,
just like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't feel like, even though they have the talent, these guys are ready to step up. And it's kind of like, okay, all right, we could take him off, but if you guys are not replacing what he used to give us, okay, let's just keep him on because you never know. It's Ronaldo; he can score a goal out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like he's
right,
better suited to come off the bench when they need that.
yeah,
I just
yeah,
because the team, it's not about him not pressing or defending. He's never done that. All these top guys never done that. Messi's never done that. Neymar's never done that. Mbappe's never done that. Vinny's never done that. They don't defend, but going for it, they give you something that compensates them not dropping back or being on the ball, being
right,
creative and all that. So it's kind of like a 50-50. I think Portugal will be better off if the Heat comes off the bench. But
right,
also, if you ask me, I want him to start because I know when he starts, it's natural, bro. Like he's older. He's older. It's not him. I know Ronaldo 5, 6, 7 years ago will cook in this team, but I feel like
right,
sometimes too his ego wouldn't let him accept that because he thinks he's 20, you know, which is kind of like the
right.
downfall. So I don't know, man. Let's see what what's his name? Roberto is who's the coach now?
Now that dickhead, bro. The
The
dickhead
former
fucked up,
Belgium
bro.
coach. Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
fucked up my team, bro. I swear that
What's
shit
his
pissed
last
me
name? Roberto
off.
Martinez. Yeah. Let's see what he does with them in
Martinez.
2026,
He not
man.
doing shit, nigga. He not
Huh?
doing shit.
He Yo,
Nigga not doing shit,
this guy
bro.
hates him because he has a personal
I hate that.
vendetta against him because his boy eat him
Nah,
in his
nigga not
yard.
doing shit, bro.
But hey,
Nah.
let's see. But another national
Let's see
team.
nothing, bro. We're not worried. We don't fear Portugal, bro.
Oh shit.
We don't
Okay.
fear them.
Oh, who's we? Who you supporting this World Cup?
We don't fear, bro. Nigga, you know who I'm supporting, bro. Stop playing, bro.
England,
Nigga, I'm
France,
supporting Spain, bro. I fuck with
Spain.
Spain, bro.
Okay.
I'm supporting Spain.
All right.
Those are my
All
niggas,
right.
bro. I swear.
I bet.
Nah, those are my niggas.
Talking about niggas. Well, let's move on to Brazil, bro.
Oh man. Oh, I have something to say for them, bro.
Go ahead, bro. Take it.
Yeah, hey, belt to ass. You know what I'm saying? Belt to ass. Bro, you seen that one? I know you seen that clip, right? Where they had Vinny on the ground and then the four Argentina. They put the monkey emoji. I was like, nah, that's fucked up,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, 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 yeah. We don't condone.
Nah, hey, we don't condone that, but like Vinny, you gotta fight back or something, bro. Cause you know Argentinians are racist, bro.
He said
They be
fight back.
racist with it.
How's he supposed to fight back, man? Hey, 4-1. It's not just this result, right? First of all, I was surprised. Not cause Argentina won. It's just
Yeah.
the way they controlled the game. Cause I'm looking at it like, bro, Messi's not on the field. Like Messi
Right.
is not on the field. Argentina has Vinny, Rafinha, Rodrigo. Who else they had on the field with them in the attacking lineup? I knew that was the front three, but
Bro,
Rafinha's
but
on there.
they had a double pivot of freaking
They
Jonington
have
Jolinton.
a striker in the field. I forgot his
Yeah, I
name. It's
forgot his
like a
name.
his big.
and
There's
Thiago,
like
I think.
He he's probably like from the Brazilian league or something, but I'm not gonna lie, I forgot
yeah,
his
yeah,
name.
yeah, I think so.
But this team, okay, yeah, qualities fall off. Like if you compare it to like the 2002 squad, even like recently 2006, people thought the 2010 squad was bad, but now it's like every tournament, it looks like the overall quality of the team kind of goes down. But they still have superstars. They like the front line is always stacked with superstars, right? But do you think it's like do you think it's a change of like their style? Because you know the Joga Bonito, bro. I always argue. I don't think in 2002, bro, that coach. No, you know you weren't telling them what to do, bro. I just felt like they just get like, yo, go play your football, because they play
Of
free
course.
flowing football, bro. Like, what are you gonna teach them? The question is, do you think European football and strict tactics has killed Brazilian football? And when okay, let me go deeper. When I say that, I'm coming from the angle of so back in the day, right? You see players like Rivaldo come to Europe when they were like 27. They've played good football in Brazil. They go through that system where they're playing good quality football, free flowing football. Your Ronaldinho's, your Romarios, like all of these men, right? By the time they come to Europe, they already like established players, right? But you look at it now,
Right.
you have teams like your team, Chelsea, and you know all our teams too, but Chelsea be doing it the most. They go out there, sign a 18-year-old Brazilian youngster that's barely had any development with Brazilian football. They bring him out there into these European academies, right? They're teaching them
Right.
strict football. They're basically ripping away their creativity and which goes hand in hand. People like to blame Pep for that, but it goes hand in hand because I just personally think, yeah, you can blame Pep for being strict with his style, but you also got to blame the coaches or all the rest of the coaches for copying that style. You know what I'm saying? You got to play differently. Do you think that bringing them over into those academies affects their game in the long run? Because they go back to Brazil to these national teams and they're playing like strict tactical football, and that's not them. Like it's not them. What do you think? What do you guys think? Or am I just
Uh,
overthinking it?
I mean, personally, it's not just Brazil. You know what I mean? It's everywhere else. And two, I don't think it's just Pep or whatever. I mean, obviously, like, he invented the style, but like, I mean, everyone's doing it. It's not his fault that everybody's doing it. I mean, yes, it does mess up. I mean, I won't say mess up because I mean the game is changing. You know what I mean? And like the football is not the same from when it started. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
before that, I don't even think people had formations. People just like, yo, 11 players on the field, just play. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously, like it changes as it goes, and it's gonna change in the future. It's going to happen. Something's gonna happen that's gonna change. So I just feel like football just changed. I don't think it's based on like you know what I'm saying. I mean, now teams look at like players to play as a team. You know what I'm saying? They don't look at like how it used to be before, where like one player can carry the whole team and like win. It's rare. Even Neymar right now, Neymar is one of like best players we've seen. But like you've seen the past couple of years in tournaments, like he's trying to do everything like by himself, the way Ronaldinho and them used to do it, and you can't because like everybody has a system, the way how they defend and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You just it's not like before you can be a good defender and then that's it. Like now, like you gotta have a system of how you defend. It's not just one player defending; it's the
Yeah.
whole team defending. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So one player play style like individually, yes, you can be good, which is it's a bonus. But like just your playstyle is not enough to break down the team because every team is structured now. So if everything is structured defensively, one player can't just you can't take a player from Brazil and be like, yo, Drew pass everybody and score. It's not gonna happen. It's not possible. So now the whole attacking system got to change. You know what I'm saying? They have to have like system of attacking. You know what I mean? They have to have formations how they attack and stuff. So like that's what it is. I don't really think that like it's the European teams buying these players, and now these players go back to Brazil. Because at one point, I'm pretty sure everybody had that sauce in them. I mean, Vinny had that. He
Yeah, he
still
still
does,
he
but
still
like
does.
he can't just do it by himself.
Yeah.
Rodrigo does, but he can't just do it by himself. You know what I mean? Like there's great Brazilian players in that team that has that flair, that sauce, but like
Yeah. Yeah.
they're not gonna do it just like that, just to do it. They have to find ways if the opportunity is there, then they'll do it. It's not before like Ronaldinho can just drop in the midfield, get the ball, dribble. Like no, now someone drop in the midfield. There's a system of defense. Like okay, if this player drop, this is your role. You know what I mean? Everybody have their own role based on the way they play and stuff. So like now, even if I would say Ronaldinho and them, if now they play, I'm not saying they're not good players, but I don't think they're gonna do exactly what they're doing right now
Yeah.
because they won't give you the space to do it. So that's what I believe in.
That's a good explanation. Yeah. That's a
Yeah.
solid point. That's a solid
I
point.
want to add on and
Hmm.
say, like I agree with John. I think the other thing too is, like back then when you had the Joga Bonito, like the guys. I think the big thing with Brazil too is like it's I don't think there's a lot of chemistry, with the like
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
there's not a
yeah,
lot of chemistry with these players. So I mean, yeah, you have individual talent, but not the chemistry is just not there. I feel like back then, yeah, players play for different teams, but you could just tell like they had that chemistry. What made Brazil special. Um,
yeah. I mean, I think that's
I
what
feel
Kevin was talking about before, because like they all played in Brazil for a certain amount of time, so like they all
yeah,
built that. You know what I'm saying? Because the Brazilian league is one way. It's like right now European league is one way. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So like they all use that same style. You know what I mean? Like because all most of the players are coming from Europe. So I think that's what Kevin was basically trying to say before. Because like all those players back then, they all play a certain way because they all played in Brazil. But now, like all these players are coming from Europe. I mean, they're Brazilians that are import, like they transfer to Europe at a young age. So now they all play that European system. So like when they go back to Brazil, it doesn't look like, you know what I'm saying? They don't look Brazilian when they're playing right
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
Let's
They
be
don't look
honest.
Brazilian. It's
It
like
doesn't.
that
It doesn't
identity
look
that
like
makes them
Brazil, like
special.
all the Brazil that we know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All the Brazil that at least
It's
we
just
know
like they're
growing
trying to
up
be
watching.
something else that they're not. So I feel like if you go up against these European teams, they're gonna look better at it. That's why like the likes of
Yeah,
Spain, Spain always looks good, regardless, even if they're not. Bro, 2020, I mean 2021 Euros because they got postponed. They went to the semifinals, and you look at that team. Most of the players were old and weak, bro. They had Rodri playing center back because Busquets was playing in the middle. He was old.
yep,
Alba was playing left back, but they still had the same identity because regardless of how they play, most of them play
yeah,
in the league. Most of it play together. It's probably like half of them
yeah,
are Barca players, another two or three Madrid, and then you see like like two, three players from like other teams. Like look at the Euros they went. They all kind of play together. So I feel like that is kind of shifting now where Brazilian players they're spread all over Europe, playing different styles of football. Some's playing in England, France, Germany, this that. So when they come together, like John said, they don't have that chemistry where they used to spend more time in Brazil before they left. You know, and you're looking at
yeah.
all these
And
European teams, they're spending their whole basically career in their academies, coming to the first team, and then playing together and all that. So
yeah, and also one more thing too, and I think out of everything we've said, this might be probably the biggest factor for me. When you look at Brazil, right, you don't see a lot of coaches from Brazil go to like the European stage. You know what I'm saying? But like you can see Spanish coaches everywhere. You can see British coaches almost everywhere. You can see French coaches almost everywhere. You know what I mean? So maybe that also has something to play with it because like obviously if a lot of Brazilian coaches would like come out and play and like coach like some of those big European teams, or they have a lot of coaches over it, maybe like that style would not fade or whatever.
that is
You know what I
true.
mean? But as of right now, we don't really see a lot of Brazilian coaches like I can't even name a Brazilian
I'm
coach right now
thinking of it
that's
right now, and I can't
yeah that's
name one.
coaching right now in like a Premier League team or like us. You know, I'm not. Maybe there is, but I
Maybe
don't
there
really
is.
know
Yeah,
one
oh
right
yeah,
now
there's
out of
definitely
from
is.
my
But
head.
it's like out of the top of my
You know what
head,
I'm saying?
nah.
So maybe if that was that could change, I mean that would have changed because I mean right now I feel like it's too late. But like if that would have changed in the past, maybe that would have been a lot different. Maybe that would have changed the outcome of right now. Because like you know what I'm saying. But as of right now, like all you see is just French, British,
Yeah,
Italian. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Basically the whole of Europe, and all those players want to come to Europe to play because that's where their money's at. That's where the fame, the views, or that's where everything is at. So they're not. I mean, they'll play in Brazil league, but like the whole plan is to play in Brazil 1 2 years, or play in South America 1 2 years, and then get out and come to Europe because that's where they feel like they're gonna get known or like make the most money, stuff like that. But yeah, I also think that's also a big factor too.
yeah, yeah. Well, Brazil, but well, you can't say Brazil without saying Argentina. It's kind of like saying Madrid and Barca, man. Those are the biggest rivals when it comes to South America. They spanked them 4-1. We saw the game, and
Right.
but Argentina looks
Argentina,
scary, bro. They look scary, bro.
crazy.
Like their chemistry. When I was looking at the highlights, they just without Messi, like they have the chemistry still. And I know Messi's still gonna ball out next. They could watch out. I would say those are dark horses for
Hmm.
next World Cup. I don't think they're favorites. Um, but those are dark horses for sure.
because it
Nah, I think
depends on
they're favorites.
the
I think they're
chemistry.
favorites to
Because
win.
before I was thinking, oh, Spain might be favorites because we just saw what they did in there. They beat basically all the top contenders we think are gonna be in the World Cup. Italy, France, Germany, England. They beat all of them convincingly.
Right,
So I'm thinking, okay, Spain. I mean, they have the younger talent, you'd say. But then I'm looking at Argentina, bro. All the way since I mean, they've lost a couple of finals, but from that 2019 final they lost to Brazil, and then won the Copa in 2021. They've never looked back. It's like they keep growing, they keep growing, they keep growing, and people are
right,
gonna have their questions. The tournaments are set up for them to win this and that, but none of that was being said when they were losing. Though
right.
they have no
Yeah.
Messi in this game,
Nah,
no Messi. Like Messi in any team, I don't care what you say, he adds something to it. Cause just like Ronaldo, he's old. He's not the same. But one thing Messi always brings creativity. And the fact that when he's on the ball, he's taking away two or three players away. Like that's a fact. But they were
right.
they were playing, and I'm like, bro, if someone told you, oh, Argentina beat Brazil 4-1 without you watching the game or knowing who played in the game, you'd think Messi played. But no,
Right.
this was all them, and I feel like they developed. They have passion. When I see a national team players play for the national team, I just feel like Argentina is one of those countries where they like their national team even better than the club team. Like they want to die
For
on the
sure.
field.
For sure.
Like
For
the
sure.
way they
For
go
sure.
attack. I'm like, what are these guys on? Did they realize they got to go back to their club side? Like they're playing like it's their last game. Every single game I see them in, and it's just like the passion
That's for
is
sure.
different. I just feel like like you said, they're ones to watch. Like they have that passion. They have that experience now. They've won three back-to-back international trophies. So they're technically going into this tournament as the best team in the world, you would say. Technically, I mean they're reigning champions, so but I don't know, man. They're gonna be tough to take out, but that's on the flip side of all the international break and the recap of that. But now let's come back. Let's take hop on the plane, come all the way back to our club, and first topic on the table: Manchester United. And we already know what United has turned into. 13th place. They've had a fall off since 2020, 2012. I would say since Ferguson left, basically, never won the league. You know, been in a couple title races. You say finished second maybe twice, but overall they haven't
Mm,
been great as a club that
mm,
they are.
Right.
They haven't been great,
mm.
but they've had a some would say a partnership. Some would say it's not really a complete takeover, but they've had some owners come in, INEOS, in partnership with the Glazers. And what do you think about I know they've been at the club for a bit now, but do you think them partnering with Glazers? Do you think there's gonna be any difference like moving forward in terms of the recruitment and their player selections and all that? The philosophy when it comes to the style of play with Amarim, which we're gonna get there later. But what do you think about the owners? Do you think they're ambitious? Do you think they will do what it takes to bring United to where they need to be or where they deserve to be in the football pyramid? What do you think?
Nah.
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 I mean, nah. We'll see. Well, I think it's too early to tell. I have to give it a. Well, we'll see. This summer will be a big indication, right?
Mm,
Because the most important thing, I think, also like Jim, what's his name, Sir Jim Ratcliffe.
Ratcliffe, yeah.
Yeah, whatever he said, like he said that the players aren't good enough, which is correct. I mean, he shouldn't like it was wrong for him to say,
Mm.
you know, him saying the names of the players that are not good enough. But I think that's the first step is like stating, yeah, these players aren't good enough to play for United.
Okay.
So obviously he knows that these players aren't good enough. But we'll see in the summer, like if they clean house like Chelsea did a few years ago, and then come and sign some young talent that are good, then we'll be like, okay, yeah, these this club they're doing the right thing, they're taking the right steps. So I mean, I think it's too early to tell, but then again, I mean, partnering with the Glazers, I don't know. I think you're doomed for disaster.
Yeah, but like you said, John, what do you think before I go into you know?
I think the only way that Man U go back to what they used to be before, it's two things. One, they bring in a coach that doesn't care about what they gotta say. He makes all the decisions, like how Ferguson used to be. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? And two, the Glazers gotta go. It's one of those two. Because as of right now, we all know those guys don't care about the team winning or anything. They only care
Yep.
about them making money. As a business, they're great business.
Correct.
It's because Man U right now is looked as one of the biggest club in the world. Regardless, shirts is gonna get sold,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what. Stadiums are gonna get filled. There's a lot of United fans that wanna come watch the game. They also drop tickets prices. They will, but the stadium was gonna get filled.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and
And
it's
they're
gonna
smart
leak.
enough to buy. They're smart enough to know or to buy a player that they know is gonna bring in the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
They're not stupid. They're smart enough to do that. You know what I mean? There's always that one player they're gonna buy that's gonna be like, okay, this guy looks good, or like, you know what I'm saying? Let's come watch. Maybe it might change. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But for as a business point of view, they're doing great business. But when it comes to winning and the actual football, like the actual football part aspect of it, they don't care.
Yeah,
We all know they don't care.
yeah, yeah.
So as of right now, I don't think anything's gonna change. It's just until the head guy goes away, nothing's gonna
Yeah,
change, bro.
it's like it's the head of the snake. If it's not cut off, the snake is not dead. You know what I'm saying? But
For real.
like you said, they're in for business. Jim Ratcliffe apparently is a United fan, so let's see if he might have the same passion that Abramovich had for Chelsea. But I don't know, man. Me personally, it's just like we gotta wait to see. But
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We've
Only time.
they always link to everyone. They always link to everyone. But another big name that recently they've been linked to is Adam Lookman from Atalanta to United. You know, what do you guys think? If it's true, do you think they should go in for this player? Do you think he will fit the Amarim system in a double sense? If Diallo comes back next season, what do you think? Should Adam Lookman go there? Is it a step up in his career? Is it right or
I mean,
wrong?
going to a big club. I mean, that is a big club. It's always going to look as a step up in your career, and regardless. But me personally, I would not tell any player to go to United. Me personally, because it's just based on history, bro. Like every player that goes there, not every player, but like most big players that goes there never really succeed and they don't do good. You know what I mean? So me personally, I think he should go to a team that are looking, not a team that's struggling, a team that or like he's a team that that's already established that he's just gonna like that needs a winger that he can just fit in and play. I mean, I don't know what team that is off the top of my head right now, but you know what I mean? Like
Arsenal?
I think going to United for any player right now,
Like
it's
Arsenal.
not.
Arsenal? What do you
Yeah,
think?
Arsenal's a good shout. I would say a good shout. I mean, I'll take him at Arsenal. Like Arsenal's a good shout,
Okay. All right.
but
Yeah.
We'll
I
come out of
think
Arsenal. Yeah.
Yeah, we
but
know
I think
we know you want him at Arsenal. It's okay.
I
This
mean,
guy.
me personally, I want Nico Williams. That's in my head. That's the player I really want.
That's not
But
happening, bro.
I mean, I that's what you said. I know you want. I'll tell you who I want. I'm not saying what's happening or not. I'm just saying who I want. You know what I'm saying? I'll take Messi too,
Yeah,
but that's
yeah,
what I
yeah,
want.
yeah, yeah.
It's not gonna happen, but that's what I want if you
I
ask me.
I take
But
Robert Sanchez from
I'll take
Chelsea,
Isak.
bro.
I'll take Isak too.
I,
But
Esau not going nowhere. I think unless you think Esau leaving. Y'all think he's
we'll get to Isak. We'll get to Isak. Let's finish up with United. All right.
but
So,
uh, but Lookman
uh
though,
huh.
I don't. I wouldn't want him to go there. To be honest, I mean, I think he's in
yeah.
a
You
stage of his
shouldn't.
career where he could basically decide and go to any big club right now that like, and he could play because he's good enough. He's talented enough to play. So I think he should go somewhere that like he has a potential of winning something. I think that's the next step. I think that's the best step for
Okay.
him to take next.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I mean, I could see him do good for himself over there because we saw him in
Yeah.
the Prem. With the likes of Leicester, with the likes of Fulham, and he didn't have the best days in the
Yeah,
Prem, but that's not the end of
Yeah.
it. We've seen the likes of Salah, De Bruyne, even Lukaku,
right.
get out the Prem. I mean, Lukaku's return was disastrous thanks to Chelsea, but you know, KDB left the Prem and
Really,
came
really,
back.
really, really.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
disastrous. Come
really.
on. Well, but we're gonna get there, but it was disastrous. We've seen the likes of KDB go, come back, become a Prem great. Same as Salah go. They both got out of Chelsea. Go out, come back, become greats, right? But with Lookman, I want to say he fit the Prem, but then also I think his game also fits Spain. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe because there was links to with Barca, and me personally, I'm not saying I would take him to start. I'll take him as a squad player or a player to challenge on the left. But also if I recommend any team in England for him, it'll probably be like Arsenal instead of United. But with United, there's hella incomings we know we're gonna hear off as it gets closer to the summer. But a big one that's been circling around, and Mumu, your team was kind of linked to him. We don't know how true that is, but it was reported that Kobbie Mainoo wants to leave. Well, not according to him, his agent wants him to leave United or get a new contract.
Yeah.
And he's been linked with Chelsea, like primarily. Do you think for Mainoo, his career, just look at his career, do you think it will be better for him to stay at United and continue this, program or whatever they're trying to build with Amarim? Or do you think he should just get out, go to another team? If not Chelsea, go to another Prem team that's ready to challenge and, you know, go play his football over there. What do
I
you think?
I think under I think he's not gonna be. I don't think he's suited in Amram's system. You know, but I think I don't. We don't need him at Chelsea. I mean, he's just gonna be another player that's probably gonna be on the bench,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion. You know, so it's just a waste of his development. Like if he's smart, I would just go to a team where I'm gonna get constant playing time. You know, if he wants to stay in the Prem, go to a small Prem team like Brighton. You know, or a team that plays like good football. Or he can go to Italy. I mean, I think he would thrive in Italy for sure.
And do you think he should go on loan or go for like a
Yeah,
complete, like a
I think
permanent, you know?
no. I think if you're gonna sell Manu, you can definitely get like at least 40 for him. 40, around 40, 50 for him easily. I think United, they're United. It depends, right? I think they're in a situation where they're trying to offload players, so we're most likely gonna see them selling. I mean, they're willing to sell Garnacho, you
Mm.
know.
To
And I
you
mean, I'm
guys.
not trying to say, huh?
To you guys, too.
To us, which was
Yeah.
in Chelsea.
You guys
Like
want to buy everyone, yeah.
Oh, Mustafa, you accidentally put your phone on mute.
Yeah.
sorry. Oh yeah, we wanted to buy everyone. Yeah, I don't understand. But
Okay. Well, let's see. Let's see, man. I don't know. Like with
not gonna.
with Maine's
I think most
situation, right?
likely.
With Maine's
Yeah.
situation, I think it would be best for him to leave the club. But the question is, where are you going? What spot is open? What club is ready to take you in? That's the real question. So I'll say
I
for
mean,
now,
yeah.
sign a new contract. I mean, he's still young. See how it goes. Maybe in the next 2, 3 years, if it's not going how he thinks, it's progressing, then he can get out, go to another club, and because I think he's a really good talent. I know he's been plagued with injuries lately, but like you can't take the talent away. You know what I'm saying? Hey, nice boxer
Yeah,
shorts, but from like you said, you guys don't need him. Talking about players like you guys don't need to a player that everybody will like in their team, Alexander Isak.
that's
And
right, baby.
Mumu, you like one of his biggest fans.
I'm. I'm one of his. That's one of my favorite players.
Yeah,
I know he's
yeah.
my favorite player right now.
According to Mumu, he's a generational talent, but he says the likes of Mohamed Salah isn't.
His
So
face lit up.
that's Mumu's logic right there. And we talking about Isak. He's laying on his stomach with his legs curled up and everything. You know what I'm saying? That's how much
Yeah.
he loves Isak. He just imagining Isak doing imaginary things with him right now. But that's a different case. Where do you think Isak should go? First of all, he's been linked with a move away. There's been a contract extension
Yes.
apparently going on with Newcastle, but it's been stalled now.
Okay.
Do
You're
you
one of the
think
best
he should
club.
stay in the Prem? And if he should
No.
stay in the Prem, what team should he go to?
No. If they can somehow this team can somehow manage the funds for Isak,
Mm.
that's the dream signing, and I think that would be the perfect situation with him. and that's Barcelona.
Chelsea.
If
Oh,
Barcelona can somehow find the funds, bro, Barcelona should be on it immediately. That's like a match made in heaven. Now, if he wanted to stay in the Prem, I think the best team that would suit him is Arsenal. I think Arsenal. I would hate to say it, but yeah, I would say Arsenal, bro. Arsenal or Liverpool, one of the two.
yeah. I mean,
I mean, any
Yeah.
team, any team that needs. I think
any team he'll fit in, bro. He just have the
he'll fit
skill.
in.
Like he can
He's
adapt.
yeah.
I've seen this guy
Honestly, yeah,
in La
you're right.
Liga, bro. I've seen him in La Liga. I've seen him in the Prem. Like I've seen enough. That's enough sample size. Hold up play. He can run in behind it. He can dribble. He can bow footed. He can score with his head. Like he's a complete like football player. But the Arsenal fan, you guys have been heavily linked, John. I'm not even gonna ask would
Yeah.
you take him, cause who wouldn't? But the real question is, we know he's gonna come with a heavy price tag. You know,
Right.
at least, especially if he's moving to another Prem team, at least 100 to 120, 120 at least.
No, it's more than that.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying, at least.
Like
When
But
you saying
150.
at least,
would you take Isak as the only signing this summer as an Arsenal fan, or would you rather spend that money on like a Gyökeres or a Sesko with another winger like a Nico Williams? What would you rather take as an Arsenal fan? Do you think you need that? If you go one thing, either Isak big signing, and that's it, or a striker that's not of Isak's ilk, but you also get a really competent left winger to compete with Martinelli and Trossard.
if I get Nico Williams in my team, then I'll go for Goikarez. But if we're not going to assign Nico Williams, I'm saying cashing out all my money on Isak.
Isak.
But
Okay.
if there's a way that we get in Williams plus like a Goikarez or like a Sesko, then I'm taking that deal because one, he could score too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about oh
Gyökeres?
my god, what's his name?
Sesko?
Not Goikarez, not Sesko,
Isak?
the winger Williams,
Oh,
Nico
Williams.
Williams.
Okay.
Williams can score too. That's one, and that's one of the things we're missing with Martinelli right now. Like he's good and all, but like some games he goes missing. So we need an actual left winger that's gonna push him, that's gonna challenge him to play. And also we can't also forget that Martinelli can also play up top. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we can use him up top
Didn't
if we
he
need
start
to.
out as a striker at Arsenal, if I'm mistaken?
He started as a striker, but then
Yeah.
obviously because of his pace, we ended up playing him as a wing because we felt like I mean honestly I feel like as a winger that's where I don't think he's gonna work as a striker per se in the team the way especially the system that we was playing he wasn't,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, but if we get like a Nico Williams and a Sesko or a Goikarez, and I'll take that over Isak, me personally. But if we're not gonna get Williams, then I say spend all our money on Isak because we need a striker and we need a striker of that caliber. Because and I think he's the only one that is doing exactly what he's doing right now. Yes, Goikarez is doing it too, but like Isak is doing it at a different level. Like he's playing with like bad mans, bro. He's playing with like Van Dijk and them and doing things like that. So big elite defenders. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm taking Isak and he's prem proven, you know what I'm saying? All that. It's just his CV right now is just perfect. He's playing different leagues. He's dominated everywhere that he's played.
Mm-hmm.
And I think now is and he's still young. You know what I mean, that was the perfect time for him to take that big step. And you know, if obviously if he lands at Arsenal, that'll be perfect. But you know, I mean, wherever he goes, he's gonna kill it for sure.
Kill it. All right. Wherever he goes, he's gonna kill it. But you know, he's still a Newcastle. He's still a Newcastle player, and Newcastle's a team that's looking to get back into UCL football. We saw them in the UCL
Right.
last time. You know, some unlucky calls went against them against when we watched them against PSG and Juventus. But currently they sit in the Prem, 47 points. They're only 2 points of Chelsea, who is fourth place.
Right.
First question is: do you think Newcastle can make top four or top five? Because that's the UCL
It's
this year.
possible. It's possible.
Yeah,
I mean, it is
Newcastle right
possible.
now.
yeah. They only like 2 points off Chelsea, fourth place, and only 1 point off City in fifth place. So in the long run, with the games to go, do you think they end up taking the top five spot or the top four spot over I don't know Chelsea or City?
It's possible.
Yeah, I think they
Yeah.
do.
And
Sadly.
if they do you think, like we heard Isak a couple months back when he said, "I want to play UCL football." Do you think it'll be wise for him to stay another year with Newcastle? Because now, going into this summer, they can finally they've took care of the PSR regulations and restrictions that restricted them from spending big. So now finally they
Right.
can go out and spend big because they've sold a couple of their academy players, which is pure profit. And as pure profit is basically three times the value of the player that you can go ahead and spend in the next window. So they're going into the
Right.
summer. They can spend good money now. I'm hearing they can spend about 250 to 300 before PSR and FFP can breathing out their necks. So it looks like they already have a solid base team. The fullbacks are, I think, is one of the best combinations in the Prem. Probably the best right back and left back combination in the Prem. I'd say, on the top of my head, I can't really name a team with two competent fullbacks than
Huh?
Newcastle, right?
Come on now. Don't
Two
disrespect my team, dude.
competent as a pair. This season, you think Cucurella and James been better than Hall and Livermento? I don't know, buddy. They haven't as a pair.
Cucurella is the best left back in the prime, bro.
No, I said as a pair. Have
As a
they been
pair,
have they been better than
bro,
Hall
we
and
have the
Livermento?
best. We have the best.
No.
Do
Listen. Performance wise, this season as a pair,
Yeah, because Rich James
have
has
they
been
been better?
out.
Okay then. So I'm right.
But don't pick. Oh, you're right.
I'm
Yeah.
right. Hey, and don't remember they won a trophy, bro. All right. Okay, yeah, go to sleep. But what's it called? Do you think Isak should stay at Newcastle for like another season and play UCL
No,
football?
no. I think he's gonna move. I think I just what team is gonna pull that trigger price.
Mm-hmm. And most teams might not be ready this summer. That's what I'm asking. Do you think he should stay one more year and see which other options open up? Like you said before, if Barca have the fence, but let's be honest. I don't know the fence as of now, but because we're gonna go into the new stadium next season and all of that. But as of now, I mean, there's still Lewandowski there, unless he's leaving. There's reports that his they're gonna his salary's gonna go down because that was the deal we signed with Lewandowski when he moved from Bayern. That after this
But
third year,
yeah, like we
so
acting like
he's not really going to Barca this summer. Like that's out. One, we don't have the funds. Two, Lewandowski's still there, so that's out. So do you think he should wait? Cause I'm not just looking at Barca, right? Look, example. Look at I know. Look at Bayern or look at Madrid. What if Kane decides to leave Bayern after next year, right? Wants to come back to England, go to another top English team and go for the record, chase Alan Shearer's record, or one of the wingers at Madrid move on, and now Mbappe can shift to either Mbappe can play on the right, even though he's best on the left, or let's say Vinicius Junior. I know it's unlikely, but he decides to go to Saudi or something because they're really chasing him, or move to another team. You never know, City or whoever in a year, and Madrid needs a striker. Would you think Isak will look if he moves now? He'll look back and say, "Oh, I should have waited," or do you think he should just wait and then see what opens up, or he should just move
oh, that's
now?
a good question. Yeah, that could be good. I think with see this is the thing, right? Also, we were forgetting Newcastle's owned by the Saudi people too, the government. So Saudi might go crazy in the summer. We never know,
That's what I'm saying.
So they could go splurge and get assets to support Isak, and make Newcastle great again.
Hmm.
Um, but I think
I
he should
say,
move if he has
I
a
say,
chance.
I say, me personally, if I were in his shoes, I would
He's a size
like I would
he's a
obviously
size
I would
2.
obviously talk to the club first. If I'm just speaking from a player perspective. If I was a player,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, I want him to come to Arsenal. That's just me personally. But if I was a player, if I'm him, I would talk to the club first, and I mean, based on like I mean, obviously he's gonna make that decision when the season ends, right? So if we get into the top four or top five Champions League because that's what he wants to play, right? Two. It's also about the project because now they can spend big money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Also, look who they're gonna get because now they're challenging for the Champions League.
Yep.
If they're gonna buy superstars, not just superstars, but like key players that's gonna come in and really help and really push this team into that level because they don't have a bad squad right now.
Yeah.
If they sign a couple like maybe like a solid world class number six or you know I don't know like a number 10 or whatever that can come
I think
spark
they
that
I think
team.
they need a new right winger. That's the position they can
Yeah, yeah.
upgrade, and
So
also
something like whatever, something like
goalkeeper.
that. Something like that that could spark the team into something else. Then I mean, why not?
Mm.
You know what I mean? Why not sign that deal? You know what I'm saying? Obviously, talk to the club and see what their plan is and like what they're trying to do. Obviously, I think Newcastle wants to obviously be as one of those top four contender team as of right now because they're looking like they are. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, like they have the funds to do it. Like they have the structure also to do it too. So if I were him personally, like I would talk to the club and see what the situation is. But I mean, he has to do what he thinks is right. I mean, if he thinks that moving on to a different club that is more established right now, that's the right thing for him to do, then but if I were him personally, that's what I would do. I would obviously sit down and talk to like the technical director or whoever, and then be like, yo, like, what are the plans for the next season? Like, what am I expecting? Because like, I'm not gonna just try to barely qualify for Champions League. I want to compete. I want to win this. If I'm gonna stay here, these are my terms. And if you're gonna bring players that is gonna help me or help the team get to where we want to get to, then obviously I'm gonna stay. But if that's not the case, then you know what I mean, pack your bags and go
Yeah.
to whatever team is best for you. Because I feel like he's at the stage right now where he needs to start winning trophies. Because
Yeah.
yeah, he has the CV to do that. You know what I mean? They're never gonna look at you as a great player like that if you don't win
If you don't
anything.
add those
You know what I
chips,
mean?
yeah, yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
But okay, that's a wrap up on Isak. We're gonna move into I mean, one of the teams obviously that's been heavily linked with Isak, and that's Arsenal. But another
Yo,
player,
yo, yo. Sorry, guys. I have to go.
you gotta go. We talk about
Yeah, my
Arsenal, you
mom.
gotta
Yeah.
go.
Break.
No,
No,
I
no,
have
come
to.
on, break fast.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. We gonna tell. We gonna wrap it up in like 10 minutes, and then we all go break out fast. 10 minutes, cool.
I.
All right, baby.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so Arsenal, right? We saw the report a couple months ago that apparently the Zubimendi deal is practically done, and it's gonna be finalized in the summer. But then also recently, there's been reports that Madrid is thinking of hijacking the deal. First of all, Arsenal, do you think you need Zubimendi? And two,
I
if
mean,
Madrid,
If Partey and them are leaving,
mm-hmm,
then I think they definitely need a player like that.
okay.
Because as of right now, Partey hasn't signed a contract, and it looks like Jorginho, which I'm not really counting on, is also leaving.
And do you I mean, it's Madrid. When Madrid comes calling, not many players can say no, especially when he's in Spain and
Oh,
all.
most definitely,
Exactly. So,
most definitely.
okay, so who would you bring in as the six? Like you said, if Partey or Jorginho isn't staying, and let's say Zubimendi decides, oh, I'd rather go to Madrid. Who would you take as of now, top of your head, or who would you want your club to sign in
I
the
say
six?
Guimaraes in my position. I mean, not as a six. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I
Oh,
think he could play there, but
Arsenal
like
as a
you could
six.
probably put Rice as a six and then play him there. But I think he has. I mean, in my eyes, I think he has basically every single quality I'm looking for in a midfielder. Like
Okay.
he has everything for me. That's the top of my list right now. If we don't, I mean, me personally, I'll take him over. What's his name? I'll take him over.
Zubi?
Yeah, I'll take him over Zubimendi.
Mm,
Me
mm.
personally, as of right now, I would.
All right, all right. So there's not a lot of like Arsenal transfer links going on right now, but I know like in the next couple weeks, couple gonna pop up. But the one that's been trending a lot is Mr. Trent, Mr. Trent. Apparently he's not signing a new deal. He's going to Madrid. You know, like we kind of saw this coming, but it was just a matter of time, bro. But people are calling him a snake. Well, Liverpool fans are calling him a snake, and Mumu, I know
Yeah.
you've dealt with a couple of snakes at your club. Courtois. When there's a list that goes on and on and on. But you hate
Yeah.
snakes. You hate Courtois and stuff like that. And then he's about to go join Courtois in Madrid. Apparently, do you think Trent is a snake?
Okay, so
Be
I don't think he's
objective.
a snake. I don't think he's a snake,
Okay.
right? And I think it's more so on Liverpool's side, like of the way they handle their business, rather than him being snake. The guy want everything at your club. What else do you want from the guy?
Mm-hmm.
You know. And I think he wants to, for him to, I guess, elevate him and put him on that status of like one of the best right backs we ever seen in this game. You have to make these certain moves. You know, all the players that have done it that we know, there's a lot of players who've done this. You know, I mean, the only step up from Liverpool is Madrid or Barca,
Yeah.
right? So when Madrid comes calling, they're interested. You can't. It's not like something you can say no. And he's leaving at a
Right.
time. He's leaving at a time where he's okay. You won the Prem. You're about to win the Prem again. So two Prems, Champions League, numerous domestic cups. I mean, you've done everything that you can. I
Mm-hmm.
think the more so the fans are
Right.
mad at him. I think the fans are just mad at him because he's leaving on a free.
Okay.
If that's the case, if he's leaving on a free transfer, be mad at the club.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
You
makes
know,
sense.
be mad at the club because you should be mad at how the club runs business.
Mm.
Clearly, it's a lack of they don't care per se. And this is if I'm a Liverpool fan, I'd be scared for the future because if you just let Trent Alexander Walker Arnold no Trent Alexander
I was
Arnold.
like,
I was like, hold on for a second. You just let Trent. You just let Trent, that is probably easily $100 million rated player, walk for free. Oh yeah, they don't care.
yeah,
They
heads
don't
got to
care for
roll.
sure.
Heads got to roll. And
Yeah. Yeah.
John, it's not just Trent, right? Van Dijk's contract is running out. Salah's
Yep.
contract is running
Salah.
out.
Yep.
John, do you think the ownership? I mean, there's questions that they're stalling these contract negotiations because they want more money. Which I personally think they deserve. I don't know the logistics and the precise amounts and all that. But do you think the club just doesn't value these players to their amount they're asking for, or you just think they're just ready for them to move on and start a new project? And if so,
I
is this
don't.
the right way of handling that situation?
I don't know exactly. I can't say personally because I don't really know. But what I can tell you is that I think Liverpool. I mean, what I feel. I think Liverpool have a certain standards that they believe that they don't want to overpay. I mean, Arsenal does the same thing too. They don't want to overpay in a certain amount of money. You know what I'm saying? Like you could be great as you want, but like their rules is their rules, and it works for their club, and it's been working for them. So if they think that like we're not going to spend a certain amount on a certain player, and they don't want to do that, then I think that's their,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That's their rule. Because you've seen a lot of clubs, they buy a lot of players, they spend money on like they overpay a player, and then the player comes in, it doesn't do good or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then like all of the players are doing better than that player. But like yo, like I'm making this amount of money, you know what I'm saying? And this player is making this amount of money, and like he's not playing, he's not even starting. You know what I mean? A lot of teams have those type of players that don't play but makes a lot of money. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if they have a certain, I mean, I don't know if that's the case,
Yeah.
but because if you talk about money, because I don't really know what the contract situation is.
Yeah.
Maybe it's years that they want that they're not getting guaranteed. I don't know, but if that's the case, then I mean, if that's what they believe in, I guess you just gotta respect the club, and you know
But
what I'm saying. At the end of the day, the club is bigger than the player.
yeah.
So
I think. See, this is the thing. I know Liverpool has the money because literally not too long ago, they tried to have a world record fee for Caicedo
Mm-hmm.
and bid.
yeah, yeah,
So it's not. I think they have the money. I just think they're just stingy.
And okay, so one other dynamic that people have been arguing from is so they've had their backroom staff change since Klopp left, right? Literally, like the whole backroom staff, sport directors,
Yeah.
scouts, and all that. Hella changes, right? So the issue is apparently those guys were supposed to handle Trent, Van Dyke, and Salah's contract situation, and they left it. They left it and handle it, and expecting them to sign at the last minute or whatever. And these new guys
Yep.
have come in, and now they have to deal with the situation of handling these contract negotiations. And it's not just, hey, I'm gonna give you 300K, sign on the line. It's a lot of like back and forth because these players and agents, they're looking at how much you're gonna pay the other players that need their contracts up. Because Van Dijk is waiting to see how much you're gonna give to Trent or Salah. and then decide what he wants to get paid. They're all doing that. So I feel like that has created a problem for this new like backroom staff, and it's kind of like, okay, like how do we deal with this? And Trent, personally, I think he just wants to move on. Salah said it in the news that he wants to stay, but it's up to them to offer him what he really deserves. Van Dijk is
Right.
a captain. I don't think if you talk to him, negotiate a deal, I don't think he's gonna say no. As a captain, he's not just gonna walk away, unless you guys are stubborn and you say, hey, this is our policy. We don't go above this because if we give you this, this next player is gonna request the same thing, and then it's gonna blow out of proportion and all that. So I think
Yeah.
they've handled it poorly. And it's on them. Yeah, you can be mad at Trent as a fan. It's okay to be mad at him, but you can't blame him. You can be mad. He's leaving on the free, transfer fee and all of that. But man, okay. Last question before we just tackle the last topic, which is about Arsenal again. As
Nah.
let's say
All right,
Trent is
go.
still here.
Gotta wrap it up
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
I gotta go.
All right, we'll wrap
Yeah,
it
I
up.
was about to say,
We'll wrap
Kelvin.
it up. We'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, cool. Okay. Two last questions, right? Do you think um Trent, his replacement should be an out right back, offensive right back, or do you think they should replace the left side of their attack and have Connor Bradley play over there and let's say improve their left wing position and their left back position? What do you think?
I said they gotta replace what they're losing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even if it's not a starter, but at least like someone else that's gonna come in and fill in that role. That's what I think.
That's your thing. Last question, and then that's it. Saka's back. Arsenal, is that enough to get over Madrid?
No, not even. Not nah. Even if he wasn't even injured, I still said no
No.
before. Me personally.
Wow. That's it. That's it. Saka is back, and
Yeah.
that is not enough to get over Madrid. But we're gonna get more into that as the ties get closer. But for now, this has been a recap of the international break. A couple of touches on some transfer news and peace.
See you guys. Peace.